Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Just before we get started, I just wanted to quickly, plug the LinkedIn. I'm trying to, so from now on, I'm going to be doing a daily LinkedIn article, and the plan with that is it's going to be quite different to a lot of the other stuff that I'm doing. So, for example, today's LinkedIn article is on the benefits of aquariums in the healthcare sector. So, everyone's obviously aware. You go into a doctor's office, they have a fish tank. It's a pretty common sort of trope. So I was wanting to, expand on why and some of the benefits in that. So I'll leave the link to that in the pinned comment. You can go have a look and see what you think and let me know. But other than that, I will just be, jumping on into today's video. So today's video is going to be a bit of a showdown, between goldfish and gold white cloud mountain minnows and the differences between them and why both of them are cool. So let's jump straight into it, eh? So the reason that I've chosen these two fish is I actually think they're really sort of close in terms of their place in the hobby, I guess. Everyone's kind of familiar, and unfortunately a lot of people are accustomed to their first sort of interaction with the hobby being the little goldfish bowl on the counter when you're little. Now, obviously we know this isn't great. The goldfish don't do well because the goldfish gets pretty big, a goldfish pretty messy, goldfish lives for a long time. So that's why I wanted to kind of discuss this, because I think the gold white cloud mountain minnow is a fantastic alternative in this space. So the reason for this is that a gold white cloud will actually live perfectly happy in a room temperature house in most places in the world. They're not going to need any extra heat. They'll be fine with just the ambient temperature. They do also go a bit higher. You can't take them all the way up to a tropical fish tank temperature without having any dangers. And they are a great alternative because obviously they're very similar color. They are really gold, whereas a goldfish is actually more an orange fish. So they're really gold, and they are nice and small. Most of these guys will be pretty much at their maximum. So they're nice and small, and also they're pretty bulletproof. That'd be one of the best beginner fish because they can really take, if you make any mistakes, they can take it. They're not gonna drop dead like how a lot of other fish are. Obviously we want to be providing our fish with the ideal parameters in that, but when you're first getting started, everyone makes a mistake, and the gold white cloud isn't gonna drop dead. If you start with a discus, for example, it's not going to make it, and that means that they're a much better sort of candidate for this kind of an option. The gold white cloud is also going to need a much smaller tank size as a minimum than the goldfish. So with the goldfish, these ones here I'm showing right now is the fantail variety, or fancy goldfish as they're called. So we've got on the right a ranchu and on the left a blue fantail. These guys, as a bare minimum, I'd say 3 foot, 40 gallon, 150 litre aquarium. But really, I'd want a 4 foot tank, 75 gallon, 220-ish litre tank, just to be able to make sure that they can grow to their full size and have enough room to be active and deal with the waste they produce, because they are a bigger bodied fish, bigger bodied than rainbow fish, for example. To make sure, those are the kind of tank sizes I would suggest. Whereas the white clouds, we're specifically talking about the gold white cloud, but even the standard white cloud, you'll be fine with a 1 foot, 10 gallon, 30 litre aquarium as a minimum. In terms of ease of feeding, it doesn't make too much difference. They're all basically the same. These guys are great, and goldfish are great. They'll pretty much eat it. Is it food? Yes, they'll eat it. Is it food? No, probably they'll still eat it. That doesn't make too much difference. You can feed flakes, pellets, live food, frozen food, gel foods, basically whatever, and they'll eat it. So they both make fantastic options for a beginner because you really don't have to stress about it. The other thing is outdoors. So a lot of people want to keep both fish outdoors, and I'm going to say actually this is where the goldfish has a massive edge. A goldfish is going to be a much better option for outdoors. They're much more suited. A white cloud can survive outdoors in New Zealand, but that's pretty much at the extremes of their tolerance, whereas a goldfish is going to survive without any real difficulty and no real challenges. So I think they're a far better option in this space. The other good thing as well, if you've got a pond, is they are actually really beautiful to look at from the top. A white cloud, unfortunately, not so much, because it's a bit of a weird body shape. It's very skinny, it's very small. They're going to be a lot harder for you to see, whereas the goldfish is going to be very easy for you to see, very graceful. And you can mix and match different colors. You know, you get white ones, you get the shabunkins, you get the Sarasa comets, all this kind of thing. They're a much better sort of top view fish is what that would be referred to as. When it comes to breeding, I'm going to say they're both very easy to breed. Pretty much, I'm going to say they both take it in the sense that they're a little bit different to breed, but they're both the same idea. The only difference I'm going to say, and the reason I'm going to say a white cloud is maybe a better one to breed, if not easier, is there is more of a market. Any local fish store probably in the world is going to be keen to buy local bred white clouds. And there is a lot of people, like I said, they fit in a smaller tank. You don't need as much kind of room, and a lot more people are going to have the resources to be able to care for them. So it's going to be easier to move a white cloud. You can basically pump out as many as you want, and you're always going to find a market for them. Whereas with the goldfish, you will there's a good likelihood that you'll expend that market relatively quickly if you are just cranking out tons and tons of goldfish. Again, in the summer you can probably chuck them in ponds, but I wouldn't necessarily guarantee it or bet on it. I would suggest that it might be a better option to kind of breed the white cloud mountain minnows. They are also a really fun one to breed, like the egg scatters, so get them, you know, in a tank with heaps of java moss and that, and they're a very fun one. I'm going to say they're probably more fun than goldfish, even though that is entirely subjective. I do find them to be quite a fun fish to breed. But yeah, to conclude, there is a bit of a, I guess, movement, I'm going to say, in spreading and marketing and advertising golden white cloud mountain minnows as the better goldfish. There is obviously all these myths and misconceptions around goldfish from kind of the bad old days where it was, you know, they grow to the size of the tank, they don't live very long, all this kind of thing. But actually the golden white cloud is going to do that where the goldfish doesn't. Like, these guys fit the old misconceptions. They stay little, easy to care for, not going to get too big, not going to be having to deal with them for 20 years. They're not going to have that as long a lifespan. Really, they are a fantastic fish, and they do also give you more options to play with. You can, as I said, put them with tropical fish, or you can put them with other little peaceful fish. Whereas the goldfish are a bit more of a hoover. They'll kind of just eat anything. You know, you put them with some platies, and the platies might get eaten by a goldfish, for example. So I think the white cloud mountain minnow is basically the better goldfish, going by these sort of misconceptions. Of course, in a pond setting, it's a bit different, and the goldfish has the edge. But yeah, I mean, they are both really cool fish when they're kept in the right environment. So I don't want you to think you have to do one, you can't do the other. Both of them are really cool, and I think they both will work for whatever you're trying to do. So yeah, thank you for tuning into today's video. I think today's video is good kind of going into that pond season is why I wanted to make it. Going into that spring kind of when people wanting to add, because I mean it is the best time to be looking at these kind of fish, and hopefully it gives you guys a bit of a I guess background information on these things, and maybe why a white cloud might be more suitable for you, why a goldfish might be more suitable for you. But aside from that, that's all I had today, so please make sure you like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But aside from that, that's all from me, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya, bye.